Okay, I think I'm just gonna have to do this by hand, right? Unfortunately, for number in data. So we're gonna have some type of a current total, and that's gonna be 0. If number is blank, totals that append current total equals 0. Wow. So when I started to write the code, it pretty much did it for me. I am pretty confident that this is it. Hello and welcome. In this video, you're going to see me solve Advent of Code 2022 Day 1 and Day 2, massively relying on GitHub Copilot, which is, a very, very strange experience of programming, because both of these problems I kind of knew how to solve myself by hand. And I was trying to do it via comments and suggestions to the Copilot. So how did it do? Really, really well in Day 1 and rather poorly in Day 2. So Day 1 is an example of, commonly occurring structured data, like a bunch of values followed by a space, and you just have to add up the values between spaces and figure out some maximums. Day 2 is rock, paper, scissors, but with some sort of arbitrary encoding, A, B, C, X, Y, Z, and arbitrary rules in part 2. And when you have sort of nonsensical arbitrary encoding and rules, GitHub Copilot will fail you. So I guess it's a really, really good lesson, and I suggest that you guys go out there and maybe try GitHub Copilot on some coding exercises, because it's a tool that can make your life a whole lot easier, but it's also a tool that can make your life harder if you don't know how to use it correctly. So I think practice on something like this is a really worthwhile exercise. So watch the video, have fun. Like I said, if you want to see what works, watch part 1. What doesn't work, watch part 2. See you later. Hello and welcome. So here we are, Advent of Code 2022 Day 1 with the help of GitHub Copilot and potentially GPT chat. It seems to be dropping in and out of functionality at the minute. So let's read this problem and then get into it. Day 1 calorie counting. Santa's reindeer typically eat regular reindeer food, but they need a lot of magical energy to deliver presents at Christmas. For that, their favorite snack is a special type of star fruit that only grows deep in the jungle. Elves have brought you on their annual expedition to the grove where the fruit grows. To supply enough magical energy, the expedition needs to retrieve a minimum of 50 stars. Okay, so each one of these is a problem. By December 25th, although the elves assure you that the grove has plenty of fruit, you decide to grab fruit you see along the way, just in case. Collect the stars solving the puzzles. 2 puzzles will be made available to you each day. The second puzzle is unlocked when you complete the first. The jungle must be too overgrown and difficult to navigate in vehicles, or as you access it from the elves, the traditionally goes on foot. Your boats approach land. The elves begin taking inventory of their supplies. Okay, one important consideration is food, in particular the number of calories each elf is carrying, your puzzle input. The elves take turns writing down the number of calories contained by the various meals, snacks, rations that they've brought with them, 1 item per line. Each elf separates their own inventory from the previous elf's inventory, if any, by a blank line. For example, suppose the elves finish writing their items' calories and end up with the following list. So it'd be 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, and these spaces. So this is all carried by one elf. Elf 1, that's carried by elf. That one there is carried by elf 2. That guy is elf 3, and so on. This list represents the calories of food carried by 5 elves. The first elf is carrying that. Okay, that's what I explained. In case the elves get hungry and need extra snacks, they need to know which elf to ask. They need to know how many calories are being carried by the elf carrying the most calories. In the example above, 24,000. That's 7, 8, 9 is 24,000. That guy. Find the elf carrying the most calories. Okay. How many calories is that elf carrying? All right, let's rock and roll. So we've got the day1 file here. We've got the input, and honestly, for this particular puzzle, I'm very tempted to just write it myself because I'm pretty confident I can solve this without too many issues. But I'm gonna work with Copilot. I'm gonna try to do that the whole way through, and we'll see what happens. So look, the first key thing is that we're gonna need to break this data into chunks. So I mean, these are all gonna be need to be converted to integers because they're currently strings. And they all need to be added up perhaps to a, I don't know, if these were all separate lists, like if we split this data on these new lines here, and these here became separate lists, sublists, that could work pretty well, because you could take then sort of the sum of a list with a very, very simple function. But we'll see what GitHub Copilot comes up with, and you know, even if it's a bit more complicated, we'll run with it. So I think that the first bit is like read file input day1.txt, and let's see what let's see this. So pum. I'm not a fan of calling a variable input, but let's see. This is like a little starting point, right? Okay, so if this is it, this is a list and there are all these little individual values. So we'll just call it data instead of input. I have to. Okay, so now that we got data, what can we do to the data? Iterate through data, iterate through data, and add up convert each string to integer, each non-blank string to integer. Okay, let's see if it can do that. If data is not blank, so now you replace the value with the integer. Okay, I think this could work. Print data. So we're like massaging it into more useful form. What was wrong here? This was data here. Okay, so here we are. We've got these blanks. Great. And this is one list. So let's create a new list, totals, and that's a list. Iterate through data and add each consequent number to total. Add each consequent number until you reach a blank. To the total list. Let's see what this, I don't think my explanation is great here. So total equals 0 for I in range, for j in range, total plus data j, totals dot append total. Let's print totals. Okay, this looks promising. These are very big numbers. There are some zeros in here. And I guess if we were to just print totals, I think if that's the only thing that's being printed here, I'll clear everything. So if you go into the input and the second item in totals then is going to be around 40,000, right? That's going to be the second item, and that's how you're going to know if we're roughly correct. So if I was to go ahead into day one and then print that and look for the second item in totals. Okay, 38.5. Let's try that again. 38.5. No, that's not it. That is not it. So, can we do a little bit better? Let's get rid of this. I'm going to try to do my... I'm going to try to reset here again and see if I can describe. I guess the trick really, this isn't... I wouldn't say that this is the fault of the Copilot. This is my bad explanations, really. So all you need to do is just add the numbers between the blanks. So how to do that? Iterate through data and print the sum of numbers between blanks. Print sum. So you're going through the data and you're printing the sum of, there is nothing in the totals. Totals is empty. We've not appended anything to the totals. Totals that append, okay. I think I'm just gonna have to do this by hand, right? Unfortunately. So for number in data. So we're gonna have some type of a current total, and that's gonna be 0. If number is blank, totals that append current total equals 0. Wow. So when I started to write the code, it pretty much did it for me. I am pretty confident that this is it. Print totals. Wow, I am like 99% sure we've just done it. Clear. Run it. And I should not have, we don't need to get that. Clear. Run it. 40. Yes, that looks correct. Print totals. Print max of totals. And like the most fascinating thing, it's 71124. I'm 99% sure. 71124. I'm 99% sure I got this. All right, come here. 71124. What? But I didn't give you any answers. 5 seconds left to wait. I pressed enter. 71124. 71124. That was the total, yeah. Am I on the day one? Turn to day one. Ah, I did give it. And this is correct. I don't know how did I not see my gold star. Okay, part one is correct. What does it say in part two? By the time you calculate the answer to the elf's question, they've already realized that the elf carrying the most calories might eventually run out of snacks. To avoid this unacceptable situation, elves would instead like to know the total calories carried by the top 3 elves carrying the most calories, even if those elves, they still have 2 backups. In the example, the elves are the 4th elf. The top 3 elves are the 4th elf, the 3rd elf, and the 5th elf. Got it. How many calories? Okay. That's easy. Print. Okay. So if we say print max totals, so you have totals, so you take the max of it, right? First equals to max totals. And then, what am I mean, let's do this. Remove first from list, surely. Can you do this for me? Can you do this for me? Totals.remove first. Second equals, and then what do I want? What do I want? Remove second from list. Yes. And then we have third equals max totals. We can remove it from the list, whatever. We don't have to, but okay. And then print first, second, first, second, third. Well, we're gonna add first plus second plus third. Okay. Rock and roll. Press play. 204639. 204639. Submit. And gold stars. Okay, that was fun. The thing that I learned from it, really, looking at the way we approach this program, is if you are not sure what you're doing, you are going to get garbage. And if you're having trouble perfectly defining what you're doing through comments, you're also going to get garbage from GitHub Copilot. So the second that I started to actually solve the problem manually the way I know how to do it, both here and here, when I wanted to add the top 3, Copilot started auto-completing stuff for me. So I really think that there are 2 distinct strategies with Copilot. One is when you can definitely clearly define what you're doing with words. For example, if you want a function that takes 2 inputs and provides a specific output, then use comments. And second way to approach it is if you're not sure how to describe what you're doing in words, but you know how to code it, just start coding and it will auto-complete it. I literally wrote the first 2 lines of this and it finished the operation for me. That was good fun. Let's try another one. All right, let's mosey on today to rock, paper, scissors. The elves begin to set up on the beach. They decide whose tent gets to be the closest to the snack storage. Rock, paper, scissors tournament is already in progress. Rock, paper, scissors is a game between 2 players. Each game contains many rounds. In each round, the players simultaneously choose rock, paper, or scissors using a hand shape. Great. Then a winner of that round is selected. Rock defeats scissors, scissors defeats paper, paper defeats rock. If both players choose the same shape, the round instead ends in a draw. Appreciative of your help yesterday, one elf gives you an encrypted strategy guide. Your puzzle input, they say, will be sure to help you win. The first column is what your opponent is going to play. A for rock, B for paper, C for scissors. The second column, suddenly, the elf is called away to help with someone's tent. So we don't know what the second column is. The second column, Your reason must be what you should play in response. X for rock, Y for paper, Z for scissors. Winning every time would be suspicious, so the responses must be carefully chosen. The winner of the whole tournament is the player with the highest score. Your total score is the sum of your scores for each round. The score for a single round is the score for the shape you selected, plus the score for the outcome of the round. Okay. 1 for rock, 2 for paper, and 3 for scissors. This is interesting. So you're adding 1 point for rock, 2 for and the outcome of the round. 0 if you lost, 3 if the round was a draw, 6 if you won. So scissors are in a way advantageous. Since you can't be sure if the elf is trying to help you or trick you, you should calculate the score you would get if you were to follow the strategy guide. For example, suppose you were given the following strategy guide. A and Y, B and X, and C and Z. This strategy guide predicts and recommends the following. In the first round, your opponent will choose A. You should choose paper. This ends in a win. You score 8. In the second round, your opponent will choose paper, and you will choose rock. This ends in a loss for you. In the third round, it's a draw, giving you a score. In this example, you were given to follow, you would get a total score of 15. What would be your total score if everything goes exactly according to your strategy guide? Okay. All right, this should be interesting. The instructions were a bit convoluted. So I need to write my own, like, some type of, like, comment describing what A is, what B is, and what C is. So let's so A equals to rock, B equals to here it is, A rock, B paper, C scissors. Okay, and then here is X equals to rock. Wow, okay, that's nice. Very nice of you. So, then there's going to be a point score. Seemingly 1, 2, and 3 points for rock, paper, scissors. Meaning, sorry, 3 points for scissors. This was the most bizarre thing. So, copy that. Give me back my VS Code. This was... So, 1 point for rock. 2 for paper. 2, I'll go points for... Okay. So... There we go. So I think this is straightforward. We can just read this, and this is opponent, and this is us. This is opponent, this is us. And then we can say each round is just one draw. So each round has 6 points for a win. So 0 if you lost, 3 if you draw, and 6 if you won. 6 points for a win. 3 points and 0 points for a loss. Great. Okay. So, let's rock and roll. Read the input, read the file, input day2.txt. Okay, f equals f.open. Okay. Why don't we read lines? If we say read the file and split each line into a list. Let's see what you do here. Into list of strings. Great. Dun dun dun. Line.split. Lines equals line.split. So what if I printed lines now? Do we have something good? Okay, good. Good. So, let's try this in comment. For each line in lines, your move will be first element, and oh, actually, your opponent's move will be the first element, and your move will be the second element. Okay, let's go for line in lines. Really? Me equals the line 1, opponent equals the line 0, and then we need that logic. We need that logic. What if I just pasted that there? Can you work it out, Copilot? Ooh, if me equals A. Okay, great. What was the question anyway? That's correct. I'm not gonna print 6. Print 0. Yep. We're not gonna print those, but okay. So that's is this all the opportunities? So this is all of my A's, and now it's gonna be all of my B's and all of my C's. But I will never be A. Wait a second. I am the second element. I'm element 1. And so I will never be A. This is annoying. If me equals X and opponent equals A. So if we will figure this one out. Okay, he's doing it, he's doing it. Come on, autocomplete everything. So this is gonna have 9 lines. I mean, it's not exactly the most elegant code, but he's just doing it. Look at this. Well done, Copilot. Well done, Copilot. So I'm gonna need to rephrase this, obviously. So I've got all of the X, Y, and I'm coming up with all of the Z's now. Really? 3. So I already got 3 Z's. I don't think there's no else. There are no other possibilities. There should be 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9. There are 9 possibilities. So the else can go away. So this is interesting. Why don't I think I can run this. And so if I go back to the start of this file, oh no, I think this is all correct. So I think the question might have been what the score is. I don't remember. What would be your total score if everything goes exactly according to the strategy guide? Okay. So, instead of 0, I'm going to have my score. And it's going to be my score plus equals No, if I'm X, yes. My score plus equals 3. And this is so good. I feel like a little bit, I don't know, like I can't say I'm enjoying this 1000%. I would have more fun if I was coding it myself. But I really think that this is a skill worth building up. Like, this machine sees the patterns in what we're doing. I mean, and sort of auto-completes it. It is really like an advanced type of autocomplete. Okay. I can print out my score in the end. And I'm honestly about 50-50 that this is going to work. 9591. Let's go. 9591. Submit. The answer is too low. That is not the right answer. The answer is too low. Okay. Let's go and re-examine this, because I wrote this pretty much correctly. So, we are not adding 3 points for 1 point for rock, 2 points for paper, and 3 points for scissors. So, if I am A, I am rock. And so if I am rock, I'm going to add an extra. When I'm X, I'm rock. So I'm going to add an extra point here. So this is going to be 4. That's going to be 7. And that's going to be 1. So C scissors actually, no. I need to, what if I'll just go for extra some lines. My score plus equals 2. So I am X, rock here. So it's going to be plus equals to 1 here. Come on. Surely you can autocomplete that. Nope. That's not the pattern. That's not the pattern. It's going to be 1. But now when I'm Y, I am paper. I'm going to have an extra 2 points. Good. And will you guess this one? Yes. Good boy. All right. Rerun 15-15635. Okay. Do we have you? 15635. Kaboom. Yes. No. That's not the right answer. This is too high. All right. Please wait 1 minute. Well, it'll take me longer than a minute to figure this out. What is the problem here? Okay, so if I am Z, if I'm scissors, I'm getting an extra 3 points in each of these. 3. So every time I am Z, I'm getting an extra 3. Yeah? Every time I am Y, I'm getting an extra 2. And every time I am X, I am getting an extra 1. If the only thing that I haven't really worked out here is if Copilot got the basics wrong. So if I am X, if I am rock, and the opponent is A, it's a draw. If I'm rock and the opponent is B, oh. No. If I am rock and the opponent is paper. So I am rock and the opponent is paper. The opponent wins. So my score is plus equal to 0. And if I am rock and the opponent is scissors, I win. That was all wrong. These instructions, I just counted on it knowing rock, paper, scissors. That was my mistake. So now I have to go and re-examine all of these. So Y is me being paper. Paper versus rock. I win. Paper versus paper is a draw. Paper versus scissors is a loss. Okay, that one was correct. Z, I am scissors. And the opponent is rock. I lose. Opponent is B. Paper, scissors, I win. And scissors, scissors. Okay, that should be it. 16013. But 15,000 was too high. Oh, I just noticed it. I think it's this. I had a +4. Initially, when I was going to combine these and not do them individually, I wrote a 4 there. And I think that might be it. 15422. And that surely, because that was lower, the 16013, that was higher. 15422 is lower, so hopefully 15422. Yes. Okay. All right, so let's look at the final part. Part 2. The elf finishes helping with a 10 and sneaks back over to you. Anyway, the second column says how the round needs to end. It means you need to lose. X means you need to lose. Y means you need to end the round in a draw. And Z means you need to win. Good luck. So if the total score is still calculated the same way, but now you need to figure out what shape to choose so the round ends as indicated. The example above now goes like this. Well, really, this is interesting because the outcome in points also depends on what shape you choose. So the way that we structured our program really is not ideal for part 2. So this is gonna cause us a bit of a headache. So we're gonna need to read the second column and then choose rock, paper, or scissors based on the second column. Okay, we can do that. We can do that. Let's do it. So if the opponent says, if the second column X, Y, Z, we can just write the condition according to logic, really, in all of these situations. So if the second column says X means you need to lose, Y means you need to draw, and Z means you need to win. So this one is me losing. Now, if I am X and the opponent chooses rock and I need to lose, I'm going to lose with scissors. That's 3 points. If the opponent chooses paper, I am going to lose with rock. That is 1 point. And if the opponent chooses scissors, I'm going to lose with paper. That is 2 points. That is unassailably absolutely correct. So that gives me 3 zeros and then 3, 1, 2. The next 3. If the opponent chooses rock and is winning, that's me losing with scissors, getting 3 points. No, not losing. This is me drawing. If the opponent chooses A, when I draw with A, I will also choose A. I get 1. When I draw with B, I will get 2. And when I draw with C, I will get 3. And this is where I lose. Sorry, this is where I win. Opponent chooses A. I will choose paper to win. That is 2. When opponent chooses B, which is paper, I will win with scissors. And when the opponent chooses scissors, I am going to win with a rock. Okay, that was all wrong. Let's try one more time. I'll be 15-4-4-2. Let's maximize it. Okay. Yeah, that's it. We did it. In this case, I will honestly say I wish I didn't use Copilot. So day 1, Copilot for the win. Day 2, perhaps not so much. But nonetheless, we got there in the end. We were only misguided in one case where the Copilot didn't actually pick the right move to win in rock, paper, scissors, which was bizarre. Let's see days 3 and 4.